Happy Friday, my friends. I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. Beautiful blue skies out there. It is Friday, the weekend. So much to talk about with weather. Any rain for your weekend? I've got your full forecast first at 4.
Also first at 4, are we on the brink of another COVID breakthrough? We're going to talk about the new research results on a COVID pill. And here's Paula.
She caught COVID from a patient, found out she was pregnant, and then had to make the most difficult decision she's ever had to make: whether or not to get vaccinated. How others responded.
Felt like I was under attack
when she finally made that decision.
And breaking right now, President Biden on Capitol Hill trying to save two of his top proposals. It's all first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
And a good Friday afternoon, everybody. I'm Jason in for Karen. First at 4, a new COVID pill, a new high-profile COVID case, and a big new vaccination mandate in schools. We're tracking several key developments. Let's start with the drug company Merck, which is releasing results that could change the battle against the virus. It says an experimental COVID-19 pill has reduced COVID deaths and hospitalizations by 50% in its clinical trial. This would be the first pill to fight COVID infections. Right now, other treatments require an IV or injection at hospitals or medical clinics. Merck plans to ask the FDA to authorize the pill for emergency use. We're going to take a closer look at this pill, how it compares to monoclonal antibodies, and why experts are warning it's not going to be a substitute for the vaccine. That's all coming up on Local 4 News at 5. In Washington, D.C., the Supreme Court says Justice Brett Kavanaugh has tested positive for COVID-19. We're told he has no symptoms and has been fully vaccinated since January. Kavanaugh and all the justices had a routine test before a ceremonial investiture of Justice Amy Coney Barrett. He did not attend that ceremony. The court also says Kavanaugh's wife and daughters have tested negative and are also fully vaccinated. In California, Governor Gavin Newsom has announced the nation's first vaccine mandate for school children. The plan will require all kids from elementary to high school to be vaccinated once the vaccine gains final approval for different age groups, that is. It will take effect the semester after that final approval is given. And finally, we're tracking some flip-flops and confusion about school masking requirements here in Michigan. 4 health departments have rescinded their requirements because of a state budget provision that threatens funding for counties with COVID orders. The governor calls the provision unconstitutional and says she will not enforce it. All counties with school mask mandates in Metro Detroit are still enforcing them. New at 5, what should the counties be doing? We're looking into the legalities in this situation and where this could all be headed. People in Sterling Heights are talking about this big groundbreaking for new affordable housing. The Chaldean Community Foundation will develop a $25 million mixed-use project on Van Dyke near Utica. It will feature 135 affordable apartments and 9,000 square feet of retail space. The foundation received 10 acres from private owners and deeded 7 acres to Sterling Heights to develop into a public park. All of this should be done by 2023. The city of Detroit is celebrating the completion of the West McNichols streetscape. Mayor Mike Duggan joined the Live 6 Alliance today at a special ribbon cutting on the city's west side. The new streetscape features all new sidewalks and road pavement from Livernois to Wyoming. $7 million in renovations were made possible by the Strategic Neighborhood Fund. Finally, I can stop talking. The sun keeps shining as we head into the weekend. Friday night looking pretty good. Andrew Humphrey standing by with the first forecast.
Jason, couldn't have said it better myself. Pretty good, excellent. Take your pick, ladies and gentlemen. We got all the superlatives for today, really rounding out a wonderful week. And what a way to start a new month, right? So much to talk about in your weather department. We're looking at temperatures now in the middle 70s up to around 75 degrees with nothing but sunshine. From Sandusky, where it's now 75, 75 also in Lapeer. Folks over in Adrian enjoying the sunshine right now with 76. There are those blue skies over downtown Detroit. You got boats going back and forth. A great great day to get out there on the water. Waves are relatively calm. Just remember life jackets for everybody. 74 over at Metro Airport with a wind out of the south-southwest at around 8 miles per hour. And it is nice and comfortable out there. Now, it does get cooler as we go through this evening and tonight with mostly clear skies, pleasant conditions as we fall into the 60s by certainly 10 p.m. and midnight. But we do have some rain in your weekend forecast. Details on that in minutes.
All right, Andrew, now to some breaking news on the Democrats' divide that's put trillions of dollars in spending in jeopardy. Progressive and moderate Democrats have been unable to make a deal to pass President Biden's two top priorities. That's why the president is on Capitol Hill at this hour. He just made his way to the Hill, as you see here. The White House says he's been meeting in private with House Democrats on this. Let's bring in Kimberly Gill, who's tracking the ongoing negotiations from the newsroom. Hey, Kim.
Yeah, hi, Jason. Good afternoon to you. The president is clearly pulling out all the stops here. A trip to Capitol Hill is probably equal parts a negotiating ploy and political theater. So here's what's at stake. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was forced to postpone a vote on the bipartisan $1 trillion infrastructure package last night. Progressive Democrats in the House withdrew their support because there's no deal for the larger Build Back Better bill that's worth $3.5 trillion. Key Senate moderate Joe Manchin is pushing for a smaller package in the $1.5 trillion range. Some Republicans support the first bill but oppose the larger option and are forcing Democrats, I should say, to figure out how they can move forward since they control the House and Senate, although by slim margins. Is progress being made? Well, here's the latest from Michigan's Debbie Dingell and the White House.
There have been discussions about what the path forward looks like, productive, constructive discussions. And as we said last night in the statement I put out, we feel we've made some progress. Those discussions have continued today, and they're continuing as we speak.
I called it at the beginning of the week. It was going to be a week from hell, and it is. But I'm going to tell you something different. I'm actually seeing people talk to each other, to listen to each other, to hear different perspectives, to legislating. And I think that that's actually a good thing.
And by the way, last night, President Biden did sign the bill to fund the government through early December. That battle just put on pause, and there's still no agreement to raise the country's debt limit, which will hit October 18th. So we'll have more from Washington when you join us for Local 4 News at 5. Until then, Jason, we'll send it back to you.
All right, see you then, Kim. Thank you. This week, the CDC issued its strongest guidance yet, urging pregnant women to get the COVID vaccine. Multiple studies indicate there is more risk in not getting vaccinated. Paula Tutman spoke with a local doctor who faced that very difficult decision.
For Dr. and Dr. Weatherhead, he a pulmonologist, she an OBGYN for Henry Ford Hospital Macomb, this joyous gift of a healthy baby is even more significant because of what it took to get him here. A river of fear and uncertainty that started with the very negative impact of a positive COVID diagnosis last November.
Based on the timing, I think it was from a patient that I saw in the office.
And then Dr. Megan Weatherhead, suffering from COVID, feeling the worst she's ever felt.
But just severe body aches, severe fatigue, horrible, horrible headache, to the point that I was crying because nothing I was taking was helping.
Got the best news she could ever get at the worst possible time.
So I isolated and was in the home for 14 days. During that time, I found out I was pregnant.
Anecdotally, she started connecting dots from the things she'd seen with her own patients who were pregnant with COVID.
Because I had been seeing so many women who tested positive, who had miscarriages.
And though she had an early reluctance to get vaccinated while pregnant, the science said it was safe. And so around 30 weeks, she did.
As more of the data came out, there was multiple studies that showed women who had had the vaccine and become pregnant, women who got the vaccine during pregnancy, and they were showing there weren't any adverse outcomes compared to just not getting vaccinated.
But when she posted about it on her own social media to let women know that as a scientist, she was paying attention to the science,
I felt like I was under attack. I had people telling me that I would miscarry or that I was harming my child.
And so a mother, proud of her beautiful baby, afraid to show his face or even say his name, still steps out in courage to tell other women her story.
What we do know is that pregnant women are at higher risk of getting severe infection. While it's a horrible reality, but it's the truth. Some of it is when you're pregnant, your immune system is somewhat suppressed, and that's to prevent your body from rejecting your own baby. So it also makes it harder to fight off infections. When it comes down to making a decision, it's a decision I wish nobody had to even make. I wish we could say, yes, wait till you're outside of pregnancy, but when it comes down to it, it's real and it's here, and we can't wait on that.
You know, Dr. Weatherhead wants to make it very clear that she is not preaching. She's simply telling her story, but telling her story, Jason, in hopes that other women will do research, real research, not listening to somebody who said something from somebody else, but real research and talking to their doctors so that they can really make that tough decision, but that decision nonetheless, and following the science, understanding that getting vaccinated has fewer risks than not getting vaccinated for pregnant women. That's what the science says, Jason.
Yeah, real research, very important. Hopefully the people that didn't do that saw your story just now. Paula, thank you. Still ahead, one of Dolly Parton's most famous songs gets a gender switching update, the new version in trending stories. The idea of sunscreen is to prevent cancer, right? Well, that's why Coppertone has a very important warning that'll have you checking the beach bag. But first, a food assistance increase. See how much more money a family of 5 will be receiving here in Michigan. And we're right back.